Hello, everyone. Uncle Rob, I am here. Uncle Rhino's with me. He is back. He was on a trip last week. He is back in the studios in Shreveport. How are you, bud?
Oh, man, I am good, and I am excited about today because this one is a reunion, and it's an opportunity to connect with a member who brings a lot of spirit and a lot of beautiful love to the tribe, Mr. Leroy Romans.
How's it going, Leroy?
Well, wonderful, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about you. I mean, I've learned some stuff here just a few minutes ago that I was unaware of. For the folks that don't know what you've been up to for the last 20, 30, 40 years that you've been in music, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, I was born a regular human being until I realized I'm not a regular human being.
That's a thing, ain't it?
That's the thing, man. When it comes to a calling, with something like this, where music takes you and put you in all kinds of cool scenarios and give you some experiences that you will never forget. This is my life. So it started out as an interest in high school for music, and I got into a scholarship going to Jamaica School of Music, and then I started working in the studios in Jamaica, and from there, I got my first tour with Maxi Priest. Been with Maxi for about 2-3 years, and then I joined the Wailers for a bit, and then after the Wailers, for about a year I was with them, and then I joined with Third World for 2 years. Third World Band. And then after that, Jimmy Cliff, the opportunity came. So I went on that for another year. And while I was working with all these people, man, doing my stuff, I didn't even know I was meant to be a producer. I have this calling in my head. Every time I get a quiet moment in an airplane on a long flight somewhere, I get this voice telling me, "Get to production, get to." I'm like, how, when, where, And it so happens that just falls right into place, just as easy as everything is coming. After Jimmy Cliff's tour ended, I landed in Miami, and I've been here ever since, building that repertoire for people to realize that I'm a producer here. And within a year, I was in the studios, working really hard. And, I had to stop gigging because there was so much work coming in. So, and I haven't been gigging ever since. But I do have my rock band, as I mentioned earlier, American Vinyl Allstars, that I've been with for about 15 years now. These guys are very popular musicians from popular groups like James Brown's band, the Doobie Brothers, Boston. I have these amazing musicians that I get to work with every year with rock and roll.
Yeah, that's why it's not called the starter kits. It's called the All Stars. That's why, right there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you mentioned some big names there, the Doobie Brothers, Boston. I mean, that goes way back to the 70s, and they're still. Mm-hmm. I know they've kind of revamped their whole band, but man, Boston is still classic rock is alive on the radio with them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Every day you can hear their music, man. Somewhere it's playing somewhere right now.
more than a feeling is probably played 1,000 times or more a day.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely. You're in Miami now?
I'm in Miami right now, downtown Miami.
And you were born and you're a young man in Jamaica. I've never been out of the U.S. except to Canada. So growing up in Jamaica and then coming to the U.S., what is a big difference there?
Well, one big thing is the weather and the people. It's that's two. But it's really like close to home, being in Miami.
You got a
It's like
melting you got a
it's
melting
like
pot of all kinds of cultures down in southern Florida.
Mhm.
yeah, if you went from Texas to Mexico, I mean, it's not dissimilar than that transition. It's going to be a little bit different, but depending on where in Texas, I mean, South Texas, Southwest Texas, and Mexico is going to be very similar to Jamaica, Miami. That, and I believe also Puerto Rico, and I believe also the Dominican. I see, I see those cultures blend really easily with the
Mhm.
southern, I spent a lot of time in Miami. I love the city, and I love that studio he's in right now is awesome. I got to hang out with him a little bit in his studio, and I mean, I walked in and felt the zen taken in. I mean,
Mhm.
I was there.
Yeah, it's pretty zany over here, man. I'll show you around a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
You got a vibe going on for sure.
Yeah, and that's the back. So that's the studio.
What do
I want
you
to make sure everybody knows how to look up what. Tell them the name of your studio, Leroy.
Meridian Gates.
MERIDIAN?
MERI. Yes. Yeah.
Gate Meridian
MERIDA. Oh, I can't even spell it. Oh my God.
MERDIAN.
Public school's hard on folks today, ain't
I
it?
think it's
I know.
MERIDIAN. Meridian Gates.
MERIDIAN. Yes,
Is there
absolutely.
meridiangates.com?
MeridianGates.com. You can find the website there. And
So
it's Meridian Gates across the social media platforms.
so if I'm gonna aspire, I've got an idea in my head. I wrote a song and I don't know where to turn, and I live in Miami-Dade County, and I want to go to Meridian Gates. Can I bring my lyrics to you? You can work that out, make it a song, or how does that work?
Oh my God, I can do a lot more than that. I can make you go as deep as you want to go.
So you can get all the instruments, all the tracking, everything just out of me giving you words that I wrote.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the capacity to develop, and just giving me the chance to work with you and encourage you to work the melody and to work your story. I like to work with true stories because if an artist is singing their story, it's a lot more personal. The performance is automatically more deep, and I get you to connect deeper with your style of music by, interviewing you at first. Before I even work with you, I'm going to interview you about the songs that influence your life. So when I get those, then I can automatically go, okay, I got who you are as a person, as a musician. I got your DNA, and then I can combine your past with your present and where you want to go
Yes,
with a
sir.
unique sound. And
So
normally that process is very connective for the artist.
let's say I'm a writer, but I don't sing. Do you have someone that you keep on staff that can sing my song for me if that is
Oh
the
yeah,
avenue I want to go to? The reason
I have
I'm
lots
doing
of
this is
artists.
the reason I'm doing this is I'm basically wanting to set it up to where if you're sitting in Florida right now, you don't know where to turn. This man right here can help you make your dream become a reality.
Absolutely. So everything from the start of let's. I've had artists that come to me and say they can't write, right, and and they can't, that. So I called bull on that, and I said, look, everybody's got a story, right? You just haven't figured out how to format it to song yet. So let me help you with that, and this is what we do. We figure it out, and I sit with them and I encourage them and I let them connect. And by the time we're done working together, they're writing, they're having fun singing their story, and it's so deeply moving in a lot of ways. They end up crying because it is so powerful for them.
And they can't believe
They
what
can't
you
believe the
produce for them.
results. Yes, exactly.
It goes from X amount of words on the paper, and now you've got this up in your face. Bam! Here it is.
Yeah.
Do you?
And nature is everything, man. The truth is very powerful as as far as creative is concerned. If you stay true to who you are as a person, it goes into who you are as an artist, and then your work will come out just the same. And that in itself is a formula for success when it comes to listeners listening to you and connecting with your music.
Yeah, we definitely stress getting the listeners to know the artist, become them. Like Rhino has said a million times, when somebody goes to your show, they see themselves in you, so they want you to win. So in essence, they're vicariously winning through you.
Right. And that's why the truth is so important when you're right, because everybody is living a life and it's all very similar, even though we have different stories. They connect with it.
I've read your bio that you sent to me, and it says you've won some Grammys.
Yeah, just one with the Wailers and Bunny Wailer.
Now, I'm not familiar how long ago Bob Marley passed away, but were you with them while Bob was there? Or was this?
This was after. This was after Bob passed, and I ended up with the group. All of the original members were there except for the keyboard player that I replaced, and then it just escalated from there. We ended up working with Bunny Wailer at the time, producing a tribute to Bob Marley album, and that album, came to the Grammys and won a Grammy for that year. So that was a big blessing. I didn't even know for many years that happened, because I moved so fast,
right,
from one project to the next, to the next, to the next. So I never knew.
One day somebody's like, "Man, you're a Grammy winner." Really? When did that happen?
Yeah, exactly. The guitar player, Junior Marvin, just let me know one day that, listen, dude, you won a Grammy for that. Don't forget that. So I'm like, what? I didn't even know.
Where's my little award at?
Where's my little thing, man?
Man, I got cheated. But
it went to the band. So
right. I mean, I see they win their Grammys. I mean, if you got five guys, they ought to give five. For each person going to have their own their little treasure. But I mean, obviously, they just give one.
It's probably still there waiting for me to collect it. I don't know, but that's not the most important.
Everybody on the project, they usually have them for everybody on the project. But I know exactly what Leroy's talking about, because so many people in the beginning, when you first embark on the journey, you think the trophy is your destination, but when you're a creator, you're not about sitting. It's nice every now and then to enjoy for a moment what you have created and who all is blessed by what you created. But then your greatest joy is living your purpose, which is creating. So you get back to that pretty quick.
Absolutely, nonstop, brother. That's it. Yeah.
So you stay pretty busy producing down there in Miami?
Yes, sir. Every day.
It gives you, you love what you're doing. So it's like you're not really working because you're having a great time doing what you're doing.
It's a vacation. It's a staycation. It's music beyond belief. Sometimes it's like, you get these moments of just magical things happening here, standing up, all this stuff, so it's a work of magic, man. Just living in this world of creating music and connecting artists with their craft.
Have you had an opportunity to have some big names in that studio?
Absolutely. I've worked with quite a lot of different people, including, a lot of the names that I mentioned. But just man, just look up my bio, brother. I really don't, I don't even know where to start because there's so much names to say to people. But all kinds of genres from rap to hip hop to R&B to working in jazz, rock and roll, all this stuff, man. You know,
Is is Skywalker Records still down there in Dade, Florida, in Miami, Florida?
Skywalker. No,
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know them.
Luther Campbell.
Nope, don't know them.
I'll be dang. So you had said off camera, you had said you had worked with Michael McDonald. Where was that at?
This was in Santa Barbara about 2-3 weeks ago with my rock band, American Vinyl.
That's awesome, man. I wish you guys would come around here. I'd go check you guys out. Sounds like now. Do y'all play?
Where are you, Rob?
I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
So do y'all play like you said you have members of Boston, you have members of the Doobies, do y'all play Boston music and the Doobie music, or do y'all have your own music?
Right. We all have our own music, but at the same time, we when we come together, mainly we come together to raise funds for a worthy cause. But we play the music from our past. You know.
I tell you what, I grew up in the '80s and didn't Bob Marley was one of those things. I knew who he was, but I always caught on to these bands after they were gone. Buffalo Soldier and I Shot the Sheriff and all that cool Marley sound. I've got a lot of his music now, and I'm blown away by it. It's like that was what 50 years ago, and I'm like, this is some really cool stuff, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So, are you continuing to write every day and continuing to stay with that?
Yeah, I have a bunch of projects that I'm working on right now, and just clients. Just satisfying the client, and so some projects that was done years ago, like this one I'm working on right now is it was done years ago, but the client just decided that they want to put it out. So I'm like, hold on, don't put it out yet because it's been a minute and the industry has kind of changed a little bit. So let me revisit and look and update and make sure you're gonna sound, representing today, with this. And so I remixed and remastered his project, and it's sounding pretty good right now. I think he's gonna be surprisingly happy. The improvements,
That was
so it's little things like this.
that was the next question I was going to ask you. If you remix and remaster and bring a more modern flair to it.
Absolutely. You got to, man, and you gotta kind of like stay with the times. And the technology is changing so much now. There's now AI, which confuse people quite a bit. But I think at the end of the day, people are gonna understand like the nature of a real musician. It can't be beat.
But
And
you got to have that personal element.
yes, and music coming from a person is more valuable than a music that's just being mimicked and generated from a computer. You
I,
know.
I,
That's-
I keep looking at it this way. Yeah, you can make music AI, but is that AI voice going to go on tour? Is that AI voice going to sell merch? You can't.
they're gonna do all of that, but it's still not the connection that is needed. for that complete, experience that people is gonna have with music. It's not there with AI.
I mean,
It's,
I next week, Kansas and 38 Special is coming to town, and I managed to get some pretty good tickets for that, and I'm looking forward to that. But again, it's like I want to see them sing that song. I mean, I can listen to them at home. I want to go over there and I want to experience that Southern Fried Rock in my face and 38 Special driving it home and listen to Carry Wayward Son by Kansas. I mean, and see them. I mean, that's the experience, is getting in there and just really connecting. I mean, we always talk about that. You got to have a connection. You got to make that audience feel to make it worthwhile.
Right. And I mean, the experience starts with the artist, right? And the artist being wholesome with their music. Once they're feeling it and they're connected and they're loving what they're producing, then the audience gets to enjoy it because they are complete, you know?
So let me ask you a question.
sure.
You've
I'm
been on.
sure. Let me jump in here, Rob. There's one thing that everybody misses. At one point, painters, people that painted, they used brushes. And then one day somebody came up with a roller and it freaked everybody out. And they said, that's going to ruin painting. And then somebody came out with a sprayer and they said, oh my gosh, that's going to mess it up. And they said, no, it's not. And if you use something for a tool, and you don't look at it as the destination, but it's just a different type of tool for a different type of purpose. It's funny, I listen to this, and the reason I'm jumping in on this is I just had this debate with a bunch of producers in Nashville. And I honestly, for me, when it comes to pre-production, before we go into record and track, I actually love AI because it helps me troubleshoot ideas that I feel and that different configurations and things that I think are going to be really cool. It helps me for time purposes see how quickly that idea did work, that idea didn't work. Oh, I need to make an adjustment to this. Oh, I didn't think about that. I'm still in control 100%. And I think when you take AI and you put it in the hand of composers versus people who use Chat GPT to write their lyrics and then they use AI to make the music, that's something totally different than when you have a composer that just upgraded from a brush to a pressure sprayer, to paint. I just think that helps us cover a lot of ground quicker and helps us be more of the management of the creativity versus sometimes, and you know this too, Leroy, we can get bogged down sometime in the creative process, and it takes so much time. I know, at least for me, it takes so much time that you'll end up with analysis paralysis, and the idea gets overcooked. I start losing the vibe on it if I get tangled up.
I definitely understand that, man. That's something. It's very useful for people that are not like super connective musician, the composer or engineer or whatnot. So it's a way of just combining everybody into a little moment that you can get. All right, my idea can work. Let me just sing this, and AI can give me some music that I kind of have in my head about this. I want it to sound like this, like that, and let's see what happens. And then you get something that is like recommended for your initial love for what you're trying to create, and then it just blossoms from there if you don't get carried away with the technology.
Yes, sir. Pre-production. It's before the humans get to work. We're running through and troubleshooting feels and vibes and ideas before we dive into it, and I
understand that side is beneficial as well as a good tool, but then you got the other side. I'm going to write it with AI. I'm going to produce it with AI. I'm going to have somebody with AI sing it, which is the totally wrong way of doing things. But I mean, there was a number one song, a download. I don't even remember what it was anymore. That was number one downloaded off of iTunes a while back. Totally 100% made in the studio, no human element whatsoever. And it was number one seller of the week. And I'm like, again, that's the side of music that I don't like. I don't like the fact that, yeah, I could go into it and do it, but I'm not going to. Just I've got, in my mind, I'm like, it's not right to do it that way. But yeah, to do it as an aid, like you said, to get those ideas of what could happen or what you could do. I mean, yeah, I agree with that part. It's just you're not using it 100% though. It's someone who is 100% going to do it only with AI. Then I mean, it's not fair.
Well, yeah, there's a market for all of it, and as Uncle Ryan was saying, it's a purpose. It's a different vibe for people who don't have the ability to create. So for those people, it's great for them to kind of use music to make a living. But for the rest of us who are professionals, there should be some laws in place to keep us working on our craft and building instead of getting lazy. And I think it's about mastering who we are as musicians and creators on a whole. Once that's in place, we're gonna have a lot more fun. We're gonna feel a lot better that we came up with this stuff all by ourselves. And it's just like it's a training wheel, and it can be a great aid to people that wants to improve on their skill sets. Just say, let's say you get it to create something like of a big band for you, right? And you want to now figure out how you can do it organically by yourself, and you ask it to break down the parts, and you study it, and then you come up with your own stuff eventually. And so it's more like a training wheel, let's say. So that's another great way you can use AI. It should be a practice tool, for people.
I just feel that if you're a producer like you are, you probably are. When you finish on the project here, I'm sure you're pretty proud about that.
Absolutely.
But if someone is cheating by doing it with AI, I mean, how can you feel proud of what you did? Yeah, you know what? You're going to sell it and it's going to make some money, which is, in some cases, I guess that's why they're doing it. But you have no sense of accomplishment. Man, I pushed three buttons and I got this song took me 12 minutes to write to do all of it. And I'm like, you didn't get nothing accomplished out of that.
Right. So, that's the thing, man. A lot of people are into it for the quick fix. But if you have some people that are super fast with all the processes, like myself, I don't have to spend time trying to wonder about progressions or any part of making music, actually, because I do everything from start to finish. And that's not easy to come by. I end up being this way because I couldn't find engineer. And AI wasn't available to me, so I couldn't find.
Your AI was right up in here.
My AI was like, how can I be more, invested in being more effective, without being held back in waiting for people to be available, waiting for Grammy-winning engineers, waiting for musicians here and there, waiting for everybody. So I just find ways to go organic with myself. So if I have to make a full record by myself, no problem. But when I get to work with somebody, that I connect with, it's a great joy, and I enjoy the process as well.
I was down in Tijuana doing an